Now we got our machine all set up. I'd like to show you some techniques that I use to do knives. It doesn't necessarily mean it's the only way, but it's a way I like to teach this in our school. First of all, you need a scribe. You need to scribe 2 lines, and it's offset just a little bit, so when I come around through here, I'm putting a line, it's off center, like this. And then I'll turn the blade over and do the same thing on this side till I get 2 lines like this, about the thickness of a fat dime, like that. And that's where we want to go to on our first grind. We're going to start out with a 60 grit belt. We're grinding a piece of 1/4 inch stock, which is real thick. But I do want to show you some things that help me, and I like to teach it to students. Once you get real good at it, you may not use them, but they really do help get you a better grind. And you must have a scribe, so you can scribe both sides, lay it out even through the tang if you're doing a full tang knife. So I'm going to lay this back over here, and I use a grinding guard like this. This is 2 blocks of hardened steel. You can buy them. We even sell them. Now I'm going to set my grind line right in front of my choil right here, just like this. Now I'm going to tighten down on this right here. Now, there's some do's and don'ts in knife making. You don't ever want to set your angle like that on a knife. It's not too popular. It's more popular to set it straight up and down, but this is, some of them do it like that, but allow yourself some room when you start your grind to stamp your name in front of your bolster. Then snug it down. If you're just starting out grinding, now we got it set pretty good. It's angled just a little bit forward. Now I'm going to start grinding, and the trick to grinding is control over your knife. If you try and just do this, freehand it, you're going to have waves all over it. We want to take the metal off right here first. What you're doing, you're creating the angle that you've got to grind at to reach the spine of the knife. If you do it the same all over, then the back's going to be as sharp as the edge. So you're creating an angle that you're going to grind at. This is a magnet you can get at Harbor Freight. And I'm going to use it. See, it sets here, holds it. I can grind barehanded. Now, I'm going to start out grinding here, and I've got to remove that metal here, and then I'll start gradually tipping my hand back. I'll grind like this, and I'll start moving my hand back. The whole secret is locking your arms against your body and move your body, not freehand it. Now, when I come across the grinder like this, the biggest mistake everybody makes when they pull across, they pull their hand away. You got to stay in contact with that wheel. Come straight out and then go straight back. Don't just come across and look, because you got to find the angle again all over. What we're going to try and do here is show you some grinding techniques that might make it go easier for you, especially starting out. I'm going to start out with an 80 grit belt, and then I'm going to gradually go finer grits. We're going to go almost to a mere finish without even buffing. And probably the least thing that anybody likes to do makes knives is hand sand. So we're going to show you a different bunch of belts and how to make them work. I'm starting out with an 80 grit, and I'm going to take my stand, lock my arms. When you start out on a new belt, stand off to the side. Be sure and wear eye protection. There'll be loose stuff on your belt. Loose, not sure. Now, I'm locking my arms. I'm going to set my angle, and I'm going to do a pass. I'm not going to come off the belt till I got it where I want it. You'll see a little line starting off. Now, I'm setting the angle for the grind to go all the way up now. I'm going to turn the speed up a little bit. See how much I raised it? Just that little time. I'll cool it a little. Although you don't have to wear gloves doing this. I'm going to add a little more speed to it. This is a piece of 1/4 inch flat stock. There's one side almost where I want it till I get the other in ground. Now, I'll switch over, clean my magnet. The magnet helps you stabilize out here. My belt, I'm going to adjust it back over just a little, and I'm going to start my grind from this side. Got to lock your arm. You can see we got it there. Now, if I was doing a hollow grind, I'd do the same thing. The technique is the same. Lock your arms to your body and move your body. Now, this side is different than this side. It doesn't matter which way this is, this way or this way, but I've got to make them both the same. You don't want one side being higher than the other. So I'm going to come back to this side, and I'm going to raise that line up. And here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to gently find your grind in the area. Now I'm going to put pressure on my thumb and push in and pull. Gently. Now watch what happens. I'm going to pull it away. See how high it raised that grind line? Now I'm going to even it out. Okay. Now I'm going to raise the other one to the same. You want to try and keep within your perimeters there. It has a tendency to want to be a little thicker on the back. I'm going to raise this one the same way. I'm going to lock my arm, get it down where I want it. I'm going to push in and pull. It's a little bit thick right here yet, but there's my grind. There, it's a little thick right here. But I'm going to go to a finer grit belt, and we'll get it all the same. See, it's ground pretty well the same all the way through. There's nothing here that we can't straighten up when we go to fine grit. We're going to go off of this grit now and go to a finer grit. I'll probably pull this off now. I have my grind line set, so I'll go ahead and pull the guard off and we can clean up. But you can see how much this helps because that was a 1/4-inch piece of bar stock. Now, I'm going to change belts. We're going to go from an 80, we're going to make a big jump. It may take a little while. What grid have we got here? We're going to go to a 120. Turn my thing back down. Make sure everything's adjusted where I want it. Tighten. Now, I'm still going to use the magnet here. What I want to do is come in here now and clean that surface up. This is 120 grit and I was using the 80. It's already starting. You can see the dust, that this is the only drawback I've found to this. It does collect a lot of your grinding dust. Now I'm adjust the belt back over to this side. Turn me a little more speed up. Got most of them out. Okay. Let me show you something. Say you overcut one side a little too much. Your goal is to get this dead center right here. That's what your goal is, to get that dead center. Say you get it a little too much on one side, or say your lines here don't exactly match. So here's one way of kind of taking care of that. I'm going to come in here. This one needs a little, I'm going to bring that line out right there, watch. See how I brought that line back? Okay, I'm going to do it the same way here, but I'm going to turn it like this. Go flat, and then pull up on it. See? Now I've got two lines just about the same. I need to take that one out a little further. Or you can come in and go long ways, and then straighten it up by coming back in sideways and bringing it back. These are some little things that'll help clean this up. If you get a little too much here, you can take a look. If your edge is that way, here's what you're judging it by. You're holding it up, but you got to have a reference point to judge where you're off or not. And you're using this as a reference point. You can get by with taking just a little off to get you back in where it doesn't look so bad. So now I'm going to go long ways. This will show us wherever deep scratch is. You can't go all the way up against the ricasso there, but this will give us an idea. Now when we go straight, we'll have lines going this way, and then I'll have them out. We're trying to get the real deep stuff out right now. Because I'm going to go to probably a 600 grit from a 120, so that's going to take just a little while, but I'll turn the speed up. I want you to see the end results of what you can do with just belts. And we got I believe this is a 6. These belts here, all right to mention, from a company at the Atlanta Blade Show, they were set up across from us. And I do like their belts. I like anything that makes my job easier. Turn my speed down, turn it on. Okay, and adjust it. These, now here's where you don't necessarily need a lot of speed. Watch what this does. You may want to use your magnet again. See the work that's starting to do? We just got a few scratches, and that's at a 600 grit finish. Now, if I choose to use this magnet to hold it, you've got to get all this off. Because you got to remember, this is 80 grit on this magnet. That should be enough. We can see the results. Now I'm coming in here. I'm going to get some deep scratches out. Notice how smooth this machine is. You can talk while it's running and talk to somebody. You know what? You can use this machine here 25 years and get your money back if you take care of the machine. We've sold one to a man in Oregon one time. He had bought it new. He bought a 1 horse. Wasn't a variable speed. He wanted a variable speed. So we sold his old machine for him, and he had it all them years. He bought it in the 80s. We got it within $100 of it, of what he paid for it brand new. The only way you can do that is if you bought a 55 Chevy new and sold it, kept it in good shape and sold it today, you might get your money back. But the point is, these machines are built for heavy industrial use. The company's been in business since 1951. Bob Lovelace and Don Dad designed this machine. It's changed very little in all the years they've been selling them. And that's a testimony in itself. We can proudly sell this machine and be proud that, say, 10 years from now, we're the ones that sold it. We got just a little bit more to get right here, and then we'll do the other side. And that's when it starts really looking nice. You can already tell that it's looking pretty good. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit. Got some stubborn. There's the deep ones I didn't get out a while ago. That's why it's real important. I'm going to go ahead and go to this other. It's real important to take out all your scratches before you move on to the next grit. They will come out. They're a lot harder to get out. So that's the secret to making this work. If your belt starts not cutting straight and you start getting waves in it, your belt's dull. You need to get another belt, because the duller the belt is, the harder it is to cut a good straight line. So just get a new belt and it'll fall right in the groove and you won't get waves in it. Your body moving instead of your free handing it is another secret to making things work. I'm going to go a long way, see if I can pull some of them big ones out. There was some deep scratches. Come back in and go this way. Getting it. This is the most important step right here. From 600, well, from your grinding grit to 600. Because from here on, every scratch will show really good. I've not got them all. Probably need to get a new belt. Let me get this right here. You want to keep your shoulders real sharp and crisp on that edge. If you try this and go over the edge, you're going to round them. Just for time's sake, I'm going to go ahead and switch. You'll use more of the 400s and 600s than you will the others. I'm going to jump from 600 to 1200. You'll see a few scratches because I should have put on another 600 grit or 400. Now I'm going to clean this because a 600 grit grain of steel will show up. Need an air hose. Same way with your buffing. You can't lay a buffing wheel down in the middle of a 240 grit compound and expect it to get a shine. Almost got a mirror finish on it, just with those belts. There's some scratches down in it, but this will give you an idea of what you can do with the belts. If you think you've got them all, go this way. It'll show you every scratch in it. Come back, go back on it. If you take your time and go do this, it beats hand sanding. I'm going to go ahead and go to 2000. I don't have them all out, but it'll give them an idea. Phoenix Belt Company in Arizona is the one that makes this belt. It is a real nice belt. I'm just going to go ahead and do a little bit so you can see. I'll go ahead and turn some speed up on it. We'll quit right here. Got a greasy spot on that belt or something. That give you, well, let me go ahead and get a little more. I see a little more. We went from this to this, and that still has a few scratches, but you can go to a mere finish. For the sake of time, I just showed you a few of the steps, but if you add like 400 grit, 600, and then a 1200 and 2000, you would be no polishing by hand at all. And in a short length of time, we went from this to this. Hope it helps you.